Hi there.
You don't seem afraid. Are you not surprised to see us?
Look, there are S7 protocols, okay? I'm not authorized to communicate with you except to tell you I can't communicate with you.
Get out of the car and into my dreams.
Put her in the back.
I called
Miles, I'm not putting her in the back. You gotta get out of my car right now.
Just another Internet Craig here, and I have a question. What makes a bad movie good? And does Transformers fall under this? It must, because everyone knows these movies are bad, yet they still make an insane amount of cash. Does it simply need to be very campy with a cast and crew that understands and embraces that?
Hail to the king, baby.
Maybe it can just be bad across the board. Bad acting, bad directing, bad script, and somehow if it's that bad, there'll be a certain entertaining quality to the badness.
How was work today? Oh, pretty good. We got a new client at the bank. We'll make a lot of money. Anyway, how is your sex life?
Or maybe it's just bad, and the audience wants to see how bad it'll be this time around. Something like the car accident effect, where traffic around a car wreck is extra slowed just because everyone wants to look over and see what happened. Or perhaps it's a situation where the critics completely miss the point of the movie, and the audience sees it for the good piece of entertainment it is. And of course there's the old argument that people simply need to shut off their brain and enjoy the senseless, brainless action placed in front of them.
If people don't enjoy this movie, you should just stop watching movies. Yeah. I just don't understand how you can hate on this movie. Mm-hmm. You've never seen anything like it. It's a spectacle.
I come to this review with low expectations. I saw this movie once. I thought it was one of the worst movies I'd ever seen. People were raving about it at that time. It might be hard to remember, but back when this movie came out, everybody loved it. Nobody was talking about how bad Transformers was that time. Everybody thought it was great. But I watched it, and honestly, I didn't see it. I thought it was crap. And honestly, it didn't shock me at all when the second one came out and got crap reviews and everyone said it was crap. And the exact same thing for the third one. Didn't shock me at all when everybody said it was crap. But I really hadn't seen them. So while I was certain the entire series is crap, I certainly didn't have any authority to say they were crap. Since watching the first movie, I'd seen riff tracks for both Transformers 1 and 2, but I'd never just sat down and watched them. And to be honest, I was shocked at some of the things the films did pretty damn well. Yeah, there are truly terrible scenes in these movies, but then you also get some awesome scenes in the mix as well. So are the Transformers films the massive pile of feces that everyone says they are? Let's look at the 5 biggest things this film got wrong. We spend time introducing the Autobots for this movie. And then we pretty much ignore all of them except for Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and Jazz. And the only reason I bring up Jazz is his big role in the movie is that he dies. That's it. And there's no point to it. It's not like we develop his character or get to know him. It just, he's there, he has a couple lines, and he dies. I mean, it's an incredibly pointless death. It feels like Tasha Yar all over again. There is no point in introducing a group of characters and doing nothing with them in this movie, especially since at the end of the movie we have Optimus Prime signaling the Autobots to come to Earth. They could easily just pop up in the next movie with no explanation. We don't need to spend time introducing characters we aren't going to use in this movie. But of course there are sequels, so I'm certain we'll get time to develop these other characters that we met. If I remember correctly, Ironhide had a solid role in Dark of the Moon. What was the big thing he did in that movie again? Oh well, Ratchet is actually in all the Transformer movies, including Age of Extinction, so I'm certain he'll get something to do in Age of Extinction besides die, right? Right? Alright, so apparently if you're a human character in this movie and not part of the military, you're just a joke.
I'm hot, make them smell thing, hurts my eyes.
So they put the plate of donuts out here to test your guilt. If you don't touch it, you're guilty. I ate the whole plate. The whole plate.
For my family,
Who did that? People?
responsibility.
Hey, mammy! Oh, don't be like that. If I had a rock, I'll bust your head, bitch.
So Freddy Krueger done been up in here or something?
Oh, no, man. Freddy Krueger had 4 blades, man. That's only 3. That's Wolverine. Right? That was Wolverine.
What was that? You eyeballing my piece, Petty Sam?
Tryout. I was researching a book I was writing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's it about? Sucking at sports?
Yes, Mr. President.
Yeah, can you wrangle me up some ding-dongs, darling?
It's an emergency Pentagon call. I need you to... You understand? It's an emergency...
I don't have a credit card!
So the attitude is not going to speed things up any bit at all. I'm going to ask you to speak into the mouthpiece very clearly.
She did! She did it! She's the one you want!
That's very funny.
And I understand some light humor. After all, this is a 2.5-hour toy commercial. But our core human characters are simply comic relief. And worse than that, they aren't even funny. If they were funny, that'd be one thing. But they're not. It's just the worst, most obvious humor possible. In fact, let's play a game. Let's see how long a character can be on screen without being a complete douche, objectified, or humiliated beyond repair.
Were you masturbating?
So if we use this game to judge it, Sam is the worst character simply because he's played by Shia LaBeouf. But really, that seems unfair. I mean, he's a good actor. Everyone loves to bash him, but really, he's pretty solid. Maybe he should do some work behind the camera. Make people see he has some real talent. Maybe he could direct or even write a movie. Ooh, wow, that's a huge issue. But you know what? He still might be able to recover. Other actors have done outrageous things and been forgiven. Maybe if he composes a nice apology. Oh, now come on. All right, he just needs to collect himself and not do anything stupid. All right, so he's a lost cause. At 144 minutes, this movie is way longer than it needs to be. I mean, if we spent that time with solid character development, that runtime would be acceptable. But we spend very little with the Transformers, and the human characters here are so painful, every minute spent with them feels like an hour. As an experiment, I did a quick re-edit of this movie, where I removed all the pointless plots that I bring up later in this review. And it ended up being a mere 110 minutes. Over 30 minutes removed with just one night of rough editing. With minor script changes, this could easily become a 90-minute movie. And a runtime along those lines would greatly improve this film. Holy shit, this final battle takes too damn long. Not only that, but remember Jazz's death? It's like out of nowhere you have Megatron and Jazz groping each other. Seriously, I can't tell what they're doing.
Let's get it on. Let's get it on.
Then Megatron rips him in half and we have the big dramatic death of the movie. I get why you kill off a character towards the end of the movie. It's to show that anyone can die, even though some characters can't actually die. It's to try to trick the audience into thinking that heroes may not win. If you want to see this tactic done well, check out Serenity. Make sure to watch Firefly first. But here, it's like, hey look, Jazz is dead. And I could honestly give a crap. They didn't spend any time with this character, didn't allow me a chance to give a crap whether or not he lives or dies. Seriously, there's no point in killing him if the audience doesn't care. Hell, Boromir spent his entire time in Lord of the Rings being an asshole, and his death still managed to be sad. Jazz, well, he's just dead before I cared, so yeah, pointless. And that's just one of the issues with the final battle. The biggest issue is that you have these giant robots fighting and destroying the city, and half the time I don't know if I'm watching a Decepticon or an Autobot. They're just giant robots destroying shit and killing people en masse with collateral damage. This battle is really long and I can't tell what's going on. I think that might be an issue. Hey guys, let's lead up to the big action piece in our movie. But let's make it really hard to understand and kill off a character that we don't develop or do anything with outside killing him. It's like the perfect action movie. Now, it wouldn't be an extreme statement to say this movie is hard to follow. However, it's not because this story is deep or cerebral or any good reason. It's because it's a cluttered mess. Let me attempt to break down this story. We start out with the Decepticon Blackout. He attacks a US military base in Qatar in order to find Megatron and the Allspark. Meanwhile, we have Sam Witwicky, who is a descendant of Archibald Witwicky, who is a famous explorer who found Megatron in the Arctic Circle. He accidentally activates Megatron and causes the coordinates of the Allspark to be imprinted on his glasses. It's Transformers, just roll with it. So Sam has all of Archibald's stuff on eBay to earn some money to help him pay for a car. That car ends up being Bumblebee, who is looking for the glasses so he can use it for the Autobots. Really, I can accept all of this. It's fine and decent enough start for a Transformers movie. I mean, you can't expect Shakespeare from a movie about robots that turn into cars based on a cartoon whose sole purpose was to sell toys. But then we also have to muddle it down by spending massive amounts of time with a couple of hackers who were assigned by the Secretary of Defense to figure out the signal the Decepticons left at the Battle of Qatar. We either follow the hackers or the Secretary of Defense, just to add to more people to follow around in this movie. Then we also have Sector 7. Seriously, Sector 7 appears just as the story gets going and does a great job of stalling it hard. Honestly, you could fairly easily get rid of so many of the characters in this movie. It's almost like this movie wants to be something like Traffic or Crash, with all these separate stories that are supposed to come together in some meaningful way. But this isn't a movie about how drug rings or racism have proliferated our society. This is a movie about robots that transform into cars and fight other robots that transform into cars, or sometimes planes or tanks or whatever. There's no major message that can be taken advantage of by having so many major characters. There's just so much that exists here that could be cut out to the movie's benefit. It's just terrible storytelling all around. Those are the 5 biggest issues with this movie. What did you think of this movie? Did I miss an issue? Please add them to the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Next time we'll continue to probe the phenomenon of the success of these movies that everyone hates, with the top 5 reasons why Transformers is awesome.
The parents are very irritating. Yeah. Can I take them out? Ironhide, you know we don't harm humans. What is with you? Well, I'm just saying we could. It's an option.